Hello and welcome to a brand new video. I don't know if you noticed, I look very tired and very shiny because I've been sitting on an airplane for like 20 hours now. Welcome, I'm gonna say every town name wrong, to Vilnius, Lithuania. There's a cool building. My Airbnb is behind us. I'm in the worst rental car ever, a Toyota Yaris. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna go to bed. So I ran to the Lidl and I went to the bakery. I got some things, and I don't know if we got these little guys, which upcoming review, and then a simple donut, which I accidentally overpaid for because I put the wrong thing in the self-checkout, but that's okay. I have no idea what's inside of it, but it's pretty good. So when I left to go to get some groceries this morning, I lost my parking spot. So now I'm gonna go to a castle that's far away because it should have parking. So I have terrible news. I bought 18 liters of carbonated water. I hate carbonated water. Usually when it's carbonated, it has the red label. I don't know how to read Lithuanian, so that's terrible. Anyway, made it to the castle now. Very thirsty because I don't want to drink the carbonated water, but we'll figure that out later. The castle was originally built in the 1500s and then got torn down a bunch of times, most recently by wars with Russia in the 17th century, I think it said. Let's stop the Lithuanian War Museum. I just looked on Google Maps for things to do and I found this in the same town, so I walked over here. It's like a 20-minute walk, but it looked pretty cool. Some fun Lithuanian history. In the 1800s, Russia came in and took over, and they basically fought Russia for 2 years, kind of gave up, and then were quietly fighting them from the background and declared independence from them again in 1918, only to like 30 years later be absorbed into the Soviet Union, and then in the 90s get independence again. They've got a love-hate relationship with Russia, which is why there's lots of Ukrainian flags and pro-Ukrainian stuff literally everywhere here. Presidential Palace Museum. It's closed, I think. I don't know. Door is locked. I don't know. It looks like there's only one way in, so. I've made it to an old-timey pharmacy museum. Used the cellar for storage for things that couldn't be warm back in the olden days. That museum was painfully mediocre, but it was also only $2, so W, I guess. Just walking through the little park where the two rivers in this area meet together on my way back to the car. Kind of just taking a roundabout way to get back. And I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do next. I have to work in 3.5 hours, or 3.5 hours, and I got an hour-long drive, so I'll probably just head back, park the car, find something good to eat. I'm not sure why I thought this little spot would be more spectacular than it was, because it had its own little pin on Google probably, but we did it. We made it. I'm not going all the way to the end, because I don't care. But I'm gonna walk by that first castle again, and then I'll be back at the car, and then I gotta find some water. That's the main goal. I've thought about it. It's our mission. I'm not going to buy 18 liters of sparkling water again. In this park, and I'm sure they run around everywhere, but today they're at the castle. They have these little automated lawnmower thing just running around, cutting the grass. And then if you look over there on the bridge, you can see those poles. Those are so the buses can run on electricity. They just have wires that run above, so they're not battery. They just run on electricity. They're actually living out here in the future in Lithuania. It's crazy. I got the baby water from the Remy Hypermart. It's very exciting news. Having a great time. So I decided after my 2 hours of driving today that I hated the car so much because my back hurt that I'd see if I could go and get a better one. And for $42 for 15 days, I am now the proud renter of a Hyundai i30, which I believe is a Elantra in the United States. It's certainly much nicer upon initial inspection than the last car, so it has half as many miles on it. A quick tour of the Hyundai i30. It's not bad. I'm not sure if I can handle this level of steep incline. Wish me luck, everybody. Just a short 100 seconds later, we're up here. Hey. Top of the tower now. I've been having some computer issues, so I walked over to a local mall and I got some dinner. It's Georgian food. They didn't give me silverware, but I'll figure it out. Realistically, I'll just eat it like an animal without any forks or knives. So it was like a pizza, but with like this garlic buttery sauce instead of pizza sauce. And then it had sausage and bacon on it, and it was very good. I didn't really like the egg on it, so I took that off and just ate it separately, and that was the winning move there. Not much interesting today. It's already dark outside. But I got a pizza, some pita bread, a Coke, and some hummus. And it should be I've been working all day, that's why I haven't done anything. But tomorrow is no more work until like a week. So that means we're actually gonna do stuff. It's gonna be great. The pizza, very good. Sauce, very strange. It was like sweet, but like not, but it was tomatoey, but it wasn't tomatoey. I don't know. I liked it. Wasn't a fan of the super thin crust, but like overall very good. Hummus, there was like no flavor in it. Every time you'd bite into a pomegranate seed, you were like, whoa, flavor, what the heck is that? And then back to bland. So, wouldn't recommend the hummus. Well, welcome. It's actually the first day of the trip now. I just drove to a little castle thing. Parking here is expensive. That was what all the reviews on the internet complained about, and they're not wrong. It's like almost $3 an hour, but I don't really care. Anyway, castle. This is kind of funny. It's just like a little outdoor arcade thing. I'm the only person here. Which is strange, because it's a Friday at 10:40. Here's this. I don't know what it is. It's kind of neat looking. It's like a totem pole, but Lithuanian and from 1994. The Lithuanian note porcelain panel. They started really getting it in the 1700s. National Park. I'm not even that close yet, but I've already found my first dirt/gravel road in Lithuania. It's just the way the Google Maps told me. It's kind of funny. I got like 10 miles on this, and then I get off of it, but maybe onto another one. Very nice though, very smooth. Also, the forest is cool. It's a cool place. I like Lithuania. Also, I just had lunch, and it was these like potato things, and they were good, but by the time I made it to the second one, I was kind of tired of it. I'm doing a bad job making videos. So, I'm in the national park, whose name I can't pronounce. Here's a screenshot. I am going to climb an observation tower and go look at the forest. National parks are laid out a little weird here, so I don't really know what's going on. That was actually quite a lot of stairs. It's pretty cool up here. Here, check it out. So we got all our forest. We got a river. We got a bridge. And then like an old church, and that's where the little town is that I just drove through. Yeah, pretty neat. I was standing here, the wind started picking up. And I was like, I feel kind of weird right now. And then I like looked, and the whole tower is just like wibbling back and forth. I'm like, I don't like that. Do I trust Lithuanian engineering? I have absolutely no idea. It should be fine. It's been here for probably a long time, I would imagine. Hopefully. It's a long way down. We go for a hike. It's 2 whole miles. It's crazy. All the reviews say, hard to find the starting point, and then it's really easy. So we'll see if I have a hard time finding the starting point. There's the car. There's a little paved path, and it comes here. And there's a dirt path. And that's where the trail starts. I'm not really sure why this was difficult for a lot of people, but it seemed to be. I don't think I've ever seen a picnic table that looks quite like this. It's pretty cool. Got a little roof. You've heard of covered bridges, now check out covered picnic tables. The trail was pretty mediocre, which, I mean, what do you expect? That's exactly what I expected. So, I'm now sort of on the way to go get Nick from the airport. I'm going to make a bunch of stops, because I have like an extra 40 minutes that I'm running ahead currently, so get ready to see a bunch of random stuff on the way from this national park to the airport in the capital city. It's an old church from 1901. It's very yellow. Supposed to be a cool scenic view back that way, and there was a very large hill that was very sandy, and I was like, yeah, we can make it up it, and in worst case we'll back down. So I made it up it, and I got to the other side, and there was a taller hill going the opposite direction. And while I'm confident in this car's off-road prowess, I decided to not do that because getting stuck on a sandy hill seems silly. But it's really pretty. Forest is super cool here. Look who it is. We have a 0.4 kilometer walk to the tallest mountain in Lithuania. How do you feel? You pumped?
Yeah, I've got the pump out and everything.
Hell yeah. This is the highest point in Lithuania. Well, actually, that isn't. Forget that. This rock should have a carving on the other side. Oh no, it's right here. We did a tower. That's a castle over there. You'll see more of that momentarily. And then the rest of the view, I mean, we're basically in Illinois. Or like where southern Indiana becomes central Indiana. Look at him go. Absolutely changed. I've never been up to heights of over 1,000 feet before. Nick is completely speechless.
Oh my goodness.
It was incredible.
I will never be the same.
It is nice out here though. Quiet. And the little tractors going.
It's like Illinois.
It's like Illinois. Here's the castle. It's very closed right now, but maybe I'll get a better. Here is a much better picture of the castle. We decided to go for a little walk and look at some stuff again. We wandered around a bit last night, and now we're going to the national park again, but a different national park today. I don't know the names of any of them because they're really hard and in Lithuanian.
Can't pronounce. Really just
we had a little gas station breakfast stop. And whatever these things are.
The police are already after us.
The police are after us. They're going to get us. So here we are in a Lithuanian forest. I finally stopped and turned at one of the signs that said go this way. And this is an old ancient cemetery. And we don't really know where it is yet, but we're going to walk over there and try to find it. So we think this is it because there's these little mounds everywhere. They said something about stone crows being placed in a circle around the burial mounds, but we didn't see any of that, which makes sense if they've been here for a really long time. We found a little hike to do. Oh look, a sign! Look at that. How about that? More to come.
One of the largest forests.
We're on a little swampy boardwalk thing. Nick was super excited to go on one of these, and he's not impressed, he says.
There's gotta be cooler ones.
We'll find a cooler one. I almost fell.
Now this is what I imagined.
There's a lake out there. You just can't see it because it's really foggy. And this boardwalk has gotten a bit sad over the years, apparently. They have brown signs everywhere that tell you about things. So we turned, and now we're going to go find one of the things, but we have no idea what it is. So we're now in a petting zoo. We got this photo. There was a very animated lady, only spoke Lithuanian and Russian, and she said, "Do you know any Russian?" I go, "Just a teeny bit," and then just started talking to us in Russian. I think it's supposed to be €6 to go in, but then she was like, it's free for you guys, because we just had absolutely no idea what she was saying, but I kind of had an idea of what she was saying. But now we're in the petting zoo.
Still give her some euro.
Oh, for sure. Look at these silly geese. Oh gosh, they don't like what I call them silly. You have the bread. There's a turkey. There's a dog over there. He cock-a-doodle dude. This is hectic, and I absolutely love this. Look at him.
That's a
It's a Capocro Blacksgradley. His name is Francis. We got a donkey, and then all these geese are just chasing us down trying to get the bread. We thought this was going to be a hike, or maybe a like historic church or something. And now we're standing here with alpacas and geese that are very angry that we're not giving them all of our bread immediately. They're attacking! They had some old abandoned Volgas here, which are Russian Soviet era stuff. Pretty neat. So we're at this little farm thing, because there was pictures of apples on it. And we just stopped. And in there's like a bunch of crazy machines, which we didn't want to take a video because we were like, eh. So there's tons of crazy machines and they're making apple juice. So we bought 2 bags of it, but for some reason it's covered in sawdust and we haven't tried it yet. So we'll follow back up on that. But so after trying the fantastic apple juice that we were totally not supposed to be able to purchase, but we did, going for a walk up that little path. How exciting. Coming in right off the bat with a steep hill. This is crazy. It appears that we've left Illinois and we're now in Washington. Very pretty. Much appreciate.
Well, the last time I was there, it was not clear. But you can go ahead and pay for it when you book your ticket.
Sinky platform.
Is that what they call it, Helsinki?
Wrong country. Sun will surely ruin this video. Wait. There's a bunch of little totem pole things everywhere that we're walking. How neat. Finished our hike. It was a good hike. We had a good time. Lots of bugs. So then we got in the car, we drove to Latvia, and we're in a little city that takes place inside of a fortress, kind of like that one that we went to in the Fiat that one time. So yeah. We found ourselves in a little like World War II-y museum that for some reason has a little back in it. It's got Russian and German stuff, and yeah, neat. There's also this room of old Soviet toys. We got this cosmonaut. Look at him, ready for space exploration. And this thing, that's creepy. Little hockey player. How neat. What a big boy. He's just not bothered by anything in the world. He's just on his way somewhere else. Also, there's a big horse statue. We're on the walls of the fort now. We have no idea when they built this or anything about it. The man at the museum was, in very, very broken English, I believe was trying to tell us that we're near where the front lines were in World War I and II between the Russians and the Germans. So that's cool. Probably had opposite sides of the river, I'd say. Got the gate to Lithuania. I took a nice picture of it, and Nick said he wouldn't hang it up on the refrigerator. You heard it here. What a guy. So for our next stop, still in Latvia here, we are going to the ruins of a castle. Very exciting. We got some ice creams. And we at the castle now. Lots of people here. We're now on our way away from the castle. Some fun tidbits about the castle. It was built in 1209. It got destroyed by cannon fire in the 1600s. And then in the 20s, when they built this reservoir here, they started flooding it, revealed a bunch of ancient burial grounds. And in the 80s, they were like, maybe we should do something to protect this. And then they built all the little stone walls around it. There are your fun tidbits. Today is the day where our life changes. Welcome to the tallest mountain in Latvia. After our walk up the hill, very brief, we made it to the world's funniest little ski hill. Look at that. Definitely straight lineable, in my professional opinion, for sure. So here at the summit, It turns out there was a cool little surveying thing that happened back in the day where they surveyed all the way from Moldova to the northern tip of Norway. That was in 1816 through 1855, so that guy's project lasted a really long time. Walking a little bit away so you can see the little tower that they built at the top. So you've got Doof, and that's the name of it. 312 meters, which according to my watch, is 964 feet above sea level. It's a little bit taller than yesterday's 283 meters. I think tomorrow we might actually be hitting the Estonian high point, so that's cool. Yeah, so we just got to Estonia. We just checked into our hotel, and we're gonna go get some food. It's dark. There's some people out, not a lot. We got some old Soviet block housing here. There you go. And yeah, probably just fast food hamburgers. But we'll see. The normal restaurant was comically expensive. We both just got dinner for less money than one hamburger would cost there, so we went to the fast food place. Then we got RC Cola from good old Columbus, Georgia since 1905. Good morning. Somehow, you know, we're the only people awake in the entire country, and it's almost 8 o'clock. But check out the lake next to the hotel that we stayed at. Florida who? We're on a nice sandy beach here. It's freezing, by the way. We just found the funniest two cars, a T-Rex and Excursion, just in the middle of Estonia. Walk in to go get breakfast. Also, you'd think it was like 4 o'clock in the morning with how empty everything is, but it's 7:45. But it is Sunday. We accidentally went in the deliveries entrance initially, and there was like this dark, creepy hallway in the basement, and then now we're in the restaurant and it looks like this.
Fill the entire story up when I tell people. I'm just gonna be like,
Grapes. The grapes. We have arrived at the base of the tallest mountain in Estonia. Very exciting. They say it's a tower, but it looks like a lighthouse in drag to me. They have a little spinny thing that works better than anyone I've ever seen in my life. It just keeps going. I'm super dizzy. We've decided to be cheap and not go up in the tower because it's a lot of money. So, not today, but we made it. We did the tallest mountain in Estonia. A man-made structure on the top doesn't count as tallest, so it's fine. And pine trees. Neat. We're just driving along and we found this thing. I thought it was cool. No idea what it is. There's a little sign. I might go read it. So it's all like signage for a golf course, which I thought was really funny. So this is actually just part of a golf course, I guess. Like 40 feet up the road, we found this really cool old church. So we said, hey, let's take some pictures. And that's what we're doing. I saw a sign for a thing called the Rogosi Manor. There it is. It was built in the 1600s. It really genuinely doesn't seem like there's anything interesting or to do here. So we did that. There's the bell tower. Apparently over there, in what is now a guest house, it was a gym. And then there was the party hall. But, I mean, this would have been cool to stay at, but maybe not to visit. So in today's episode, we found these yellow squares. They symbolize cool things, apparently. They're kind of on this map, sort of. So we decided to go to some of them, and we found this castle. We should probably look up more about this and go see more of these things, because here is a map of all of the ones in the country. We're gonna go look at the castle more. My shadow's in the way. There's no way. The castle. Every castle we visit for some reason is gonna have somebody working on it, but that's okay. Better than them not working on it, I guess. Look, I don't know how they did it. These, like, peasants that built this castle back in the 1300s, like, how did they make a CRV? That's crazy. Made it to the top of the giant tower. It's giant. There are windows with views of the Estonian countryside. Behold. the Estonian countryside. Scenic. One time in 1701, Peter I from Russia visited, and he was not very happy with the hospitality, so he said, "I'm gonna destroy your castle," and laid siege to it, and then they immediately surrendered, and then he still destroyed the castle. What a dick. All because they just didn't give him an extra side of bacon without charging him with his breakfast, I'm assuming. Rude. Those damn Russians. We stopped and found another. Hey, it's my car, but in red. Wow. We found another overlook. So, over that away, that's Russia. You can probably see into it from here because it's not that far. And then, back that away, just trees and things and yeah, pretty neat. They like their overlooks because they don't actually have any hills tall enough to look over anything. We're in the historic town of Abanitsa, I think, and we're at the museum, which is closed, but they have a bunch of stuff outside, so we're going to walk around and maybe take some videos. It's one of those National Geographic-y looking things from the signs. Here's the old church from about 300 years ago, they say.
Maybe it's like how, you know, the pyramids appear in Mexico as well.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things.
Nick thinks all of them look like they're dressed like Native Americans, and I don't disagree with him at all. We found the little square in this town, and you pass through the square and you become enlightened. And then you look at the map and you go, okay, what next? We just happen to find another one of these on our drive, and we think it's pointing at like this little like swampy bog area. There's some swans down there. Hang on, zoomed in picture of the swans. Eddie swans. Look at him, he's drinking. But yeah, super nice looking. Estonian gas is the most expensive gas that we've had on the trip. It is €1.50 per liter. I went to the gas station to get food. I got a wrap. Nick got some pizza things. His look not great. No. This looks great. I had a hot dog. It was a double barrel. 2 hot dogs, 1 bun. And then I got some jalapeno poppers. No idea if it's going to be good, but we just wanted something fast. So yeah. We have decided to go to the Estonian Road Museum.
Not just any road museum, the Estonian
Road Museum. We're going to learn about how to get Estonian on roads. Soviet-era bicycle license plates. Because you had to put plates on your bicycle. Just a bit of silly. We found the next square. The sun's behind it. There's nothing back there. But there's the Automotive Museum. Some cool tractors and trucks and things. And there's the building, built in 1865. Fun fact. Nick seemed like he had something to say.
Nick's kind of what?
He said it seemed like he had something to say. Apparently he didn't. Look, it's a sign. It shows you where everything is. Well, here we go. They have all these fun signs, but that one's from Kenya. But this one apparently is from the United States, but that one's from Pennsylvania. It's for the Amish. Have fun. Also, cool. They have this little thing so you go through road technology. So these were swamp roads way back. Then the Swedish got here. They made mile markers all the way back in 1686. And then as you keep going, we keep modernizing our roads and we get bridges and things. We've got excavators, old Lada, got tractor. You can go through the thing. There's Metallica over there. We got bulldozers. We got BMWs wrapped around trees. Neat. Going through the tunnel. Going through the culvert. Da, 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 da. So this is a little automobile, and you'll notice inside there's all sorts of wacky controls and no gas pedal. And it's for people who don't have the use of their legs. And they were standard issue to handicapped people in the Soviet Union. And here is one. I've never seen one before. That's amazing. And then there's a whole wall of motorcycles and trucks. Neat stuff. They have this neat old little truck thing. And if you go under it, you'll see that's the transmission. Those are the axles. And then if you walk around and look through the windows, you can see, oh, that's really hard. That's the front of the engine. That's a little air-cooled guy. That's a backwards air-cooled front-wheel drive box truck that, oh, mind you, is also not very tall. He is 5'11", apparently.
5'7.5".
Look at this. They put like shoe prints and stuff, and like I don't know why they have this rusty car in the museum. It like just doesn't make any sense. Nick and I are both genuinely confused about this, but this is a bus that I thought was a bathroom, but upon closer inspection, it's got ATMs in it. They look like real ATMs. They're lit up and they're working. Odd. And then we've got the craziest snow blowing apparatus you've ever seen. Kind of cool. All the road maintenance trucks.
They have cats in the Soviet Union?
It may have had cats in the Soviets. Oh no, 38, so pre-Soviet. So they were running the cats back then. They gave this wheel a nice rattle can restoration. That's funny. We thought we were out of stuff to see.
So there's, oh, this had a map.
Nick has the map, but there's old horse and buggy stuff, which.
So there was a little machinery hall.
You ever see a horse and buggy
There
with
was a
syrup?
shop on wheels, which I don't think we saw.
Yeah, we did. So as is tradition, we arrived at our next place. Nick's getting some pictures, and it's another one of these. You never would have guessed. It is the big one. So get this, guys. Can you see this? Look at this. Boom. We found our next yellow square. Also, the rest of the view is still pretty cool. Yeah. The trees, we're up in the trees. Mostly it's just the bog over there. So off the tower and into the bog. You just We found a windmill. Can't go in because it's closed, so we went the other way to get some cool pictures of it. But a windmill nonetheless. We have to try the cider, right? At the Q Pizza.
It's so delicious. Yeah.
We're in the capital city of Estonia now.
It's pretty good.
Good morning, everybody. It's the next day. We're going on a hell of a lot of walking today because we said we don't know how to use public transit or cars. And
No drive.
no drive. No drive. We saw a sign and it opened up our mind. So we're gonna go read it.
Now we're getting a free.
High quality graffiti right there. Too bad there's no publicly available balls or paddles.
I think
It's a monument for shipwreck victims. Fun facts. We're in the Estonian History Museum. We got a little bunker thing here. We got here early on accident. I thought it was just a park that we were going to, but we'll probably go through this too. So here, you have a legend of Zelda. There's a legend of names. Remember that. It'll be important later. And here is a bunch of Soviet-era monuments. We've got lots of Lenins. One little Stalin sneaking in there. And we've got more. We've got swords over there. We got these guys doing what they do. This is actually what we walked here for, and it turns out there's also a museum, which is pretty funny. And there's two missing. He fell down, I guess. They have all this ugly fence everywhere. Just ignore that. Pretend like you can't see it. So this whole thing, this whole little park that we're in, is like an injustice of communism park. But Nick brings up a good point of like, they built this whole thing and it like looks really nice, but then they like seemingly just didn't take care of anything, and it's just kind of here. It's a bit strange. So we're here in the forest, sort of, right? And you follow this, and it's just like this little gravel path. Oh, and then giant staircase. Mind you, none of this is maintained, and up there, there's a paved road that goes down like that. Super strange. Anyway, Soviet stuff.
I like that no one has tried to do the thing where they the Americans that are eating ice cream in 40-degree weather.
40 degrees, technically breakfast, ice cream. So for our next stop, we're going to what looks to be, presumably, a old Soviet concert hall. We know it's a concert hall, we just don't know anything else about it. We have this whole sign thing, and it seems like they're trying to save this place, okay? So we have the little courtyard down there, and then you turn around, and you have the Lena Hall, which is the concert venue. They built this it was completed in 1980. Construction started in 74, so firmly in the Soviet era. It was an ice skating rink, a concert hall, a bunch of stuff. They did a little rendering of what it would look like, or maybe that isn't even a rendering, maybe that's just a photo from like the 90s. This place actually closed and fell into disrepair starting in 2010, which is very interesting. Back to the, or I guess not back to, but we're going into the old city now. We went to the KGB museum. It wasn't really worth the price of admission, but it was pretty cool.
yes.
The 3 out of 5. So, we, a bunch of country boys, self-proclaimed,
Yes.
have decided to abandon the city, go for a hike in a bog. Mostly because I and Nick have learned that they do a city pass for the town that we were in, and we can get into a bunch of cool stuff. But a lot of things were closed on Monday, so we're gonna come back tomorrow on Tuesday.
And the city passed 24 hours.
And the city pass only lasts for 24 hours unless you pay a lot of extra money. So we're gonna just buy a city pass tomorrow. We're gonna go back to our hotel, maybe find some new stuff on the city pass to go do, and we're gonna have a big city day tomorrow. It's gonna be great. So we got like 3 hours to come out here and do some hiking. So that's what we're gonna do. So I hope you enjoy the bog. We have another boardwalk trail to walk on. How fun. We're in the bog again. You can tell because the forest just stops and becomes this. Hey, look at this. The bog actually looks like a bog. I think if we were here in the spring, you'd see a lot more of this like water swampiness. I'd been kind of disappointed. You can ask Nick. He's not paying attention. But about the amount of water in the bogs.
That's a lot of water.
That's a lot of water in the bogs. There's even more right there. Boom! This is what I imagined when I was thinking of hiking in Estonia. Just bogs with water and very cool. Tower that we're on. Because there's a tower. I didn't take a video. I'll take a video when we walk away. It's very rickety. There's your tower. And now we go to the New England style boardwalk. Actually just so boggy out here. It's crazy. Now we're bogging. And now we're staring at the sun. Oh wow, this perspective, you don't see it. We have reached the end of the bog trail. Therefore, instead of taking the shorter route back to the car, we're going to walk the bog trail again. Look at him, he's taking a selfie. What a guy. So, we decided, instead of doing another hike, because somebody said, oh, it's just more of the same trees, and I agreed with them because it was, we're going to the beach. So, I am almost knee deep in the water. Look at, hey, do you see how clean it is in the ocean? That's crazy. I don't think the Virgin Islands are even like this. It's sunset, and look how far away I am from the freaking shore. Nick won't take his shoes off, so he's just hanging out over there. It's backwards, because usually I'm not the ocean person. Usually I'm the one sitting there on the beach that's like, let's go, but meanwhile I'm out here just like, I'm looking at all the little fishes and stuff swimming around. It's neat. I've made it about as far as I think I can go. I've got my shorts pulled all the way up. They're getting a little wet, but I made it out to that big rock. Oh, I just dipped my shorts on the water, dang it. I couldn't find anything open, so we went to a Turkish restaurant. Let me tell you, this is the best Turkish food we've had in Europe, including in Turkey. I'm so excited. Good morning, everybody. It's a new day. We're going to a TV tower. It's going to be exciting. Yay. It's very windy, but we are on top of the TV tower. So we got to the TV tower and the lady at the front desk roasted us by me saying that we had the little Tallinn card, because they have a city card that gets you in all the passes. And she was like, oh, why not the museum card? And we're like, what? And she's like, yeah, we have a little card. It was an extra $10. It's good for a year and gets you into every single museum in the country. So if we would have bought that, like 2 or 3 of the places that we've already been to would have been free. We tried doing research, we just did a bad job. We're in the Rose Garden. I would not recommend spending money on this botanical garden. Wow. Oh yeah, also we're in the botanical gardens. We have wandered over to the Estonian Maritime Museum, where they tell you about boats and boat accessories, including the submarine that I believe you get to go inside of. Wow.
Yeah, there's a hole.
Fun submarine facts. This sub was built in 1937, and they used it for 74 years until 2011. We're in the engine room now. That's the engine. This is a room. Very cool. Boiler room. We're in a different boat room. We didn't take any videos on the outside, but stand by for those. Here's what this little guy looks like. Oh, little giant guy looks like from the outside. Not really 100% sure what type of ship it was, but there it is. Shipping. If it fits the ship. For our next boat, a little bit more war themed, we've got the old machine gun. Boom, you're a gunner now. You're ready to shoot down some planes. Little lifeboat. We went to the Museum of Architecture. There was not really anything interesting. Now we're at the Order of Knights Museum thing or something, but they got a lot of cool things in here. Old medals and things. And this is all the Napoleon stuff. Camera's having a seizure. It's signed by Napoleon, which is cool. And much more.
You go to that back room, you'll lose complete sense.
It's crazy that they have a whole case dedicated to motorcycle gangs. The what? Oh yeah, we left that museum. It's pretty cool. Now we're at this. Now we're at the Kitchen, which is like secret tunnels through the wall. Or actually Fortifications Museum. Not doing the best job of filming anymore, but we're in the Kitchen. And we're on the wall now. Apparently it's filled with secret tunnels and all sorts of nonsense, so that'll be cool. Also, we have walked up so many stairs in the past couple days, it's crazy. We're inside the wall now, and it looks like they turned it into an apartment at one point in time. Pretty cool, but also, that guy's creepy. We're going in the tunnels. We walked for quite a ways and there wasn't much interesting, but now we're getting into the old-timey stuff. And we're out the other side, and guess what? We've got more of the famed Estonia stairs. I feel like I'm in San Francisco. We went to an antique shop, and I got an old electrical meter. I'll show you a picture later. And then we're getting some food. Got Nick to get some hummus, and I got this, and it's gonna be good. And then we're probably gonna go get pizza. First stop for the day. Saw it on the side of the road. There's the ocean. Here's a gigantic cliff. Okay, it's not that gigantic. First stop of the day. 3 out of 10, kind of mid.
Very.
So we have absolutely no idea if that's where we should park, but we're in the abandoned Soviet missile base now. There's no like touristy things here. There's no hotels or restaurants in the town or anything. It's like full just, hey, you wanna go do that? Have fun, we think. Hopefully. We got buildings, more buildings. We're having a hard time finding the actual hangar, the missile hangar. We have no idea where it is, but we're trying our hardest, darn it. All right, so take two. We found a different spot based on watching a YouTube video, and I think maybe this was an old guard shack / gate to get into the place. So we'll see. We're having a really hard time finding the missile hangar, but we see lots of old buildings. It's interesting out here. So we have arrived at the underwater prison. So you used to be able to drive, but no longer. Well, as described, it is in fact a prison that is in fact in the water. Pretty crazy, I guess. Also an old abandoned building over there. All sorts of stuff. Here's the prison. Cool. We climbed the little mountain in the background. Got a little bit of a better view. We got all this crazy landscape. We think this is from when they dug out this man-made lake here. We think it's man-made. And they just put all the dirt over here. We think that might be the actual prison over there. Well, like, you know, former, because all the windows are blown out. And so, cliff notes of this, okay? It was a quarry in the 1990s. It filled with water because Soviet left, basically. Prison, though, open till 2013. Once the prison closed, people came here to go diving, all sorts of fun stuff. There's your prison. We just made a little detour. I saw a sign. I have no idea what it is, but there's a cool little building. Just lots of interesting stuff just stuffed into it, like old motorcycles and things. So we found a little fort thingy. Seems like it could be cool. So we just stopped. Like we were just driving by and I panic stopped and turned in here. So a little bit more backstory that we found. It looks like they settled in here in the 11th century, so you know, around about 1,000 years ago. The whole place is built out of these stone walls built up around the surrounding area. You can see the parking lot's down there. And it looks pretty neat for just a random roadside find. Very important city apparently back in the day, but fell out of favor around the 1500s and then it just kind of turned into a cemetery. 45-foot deep well from back in the before 4 times. we're inside the wall.
First floor of 13th century.
Tell me more.
Was excavated in 1938.
Wow. For our next tour of Soviet-era monuments, this is the Centrum, a octagonal administration building designed in the 1960s and completed in 1977, nicknamed as the UFO. Unfortunately, I do not believe there's a way for us to go inside or anything, so we will be out here. And for our next trick, you'll never guess, we're doing a boardwalk trail. Look at it. There's boards. We walking.
You locked the car?
I did lock the car. Remember, I had the whole... We managed to hike our way down to a river after going over what are possibly the worst stairs I've ever seen in my life. Like, get ready for this. Look at how dumb these are. You have to go over, and then you get to step in it. Like, they're just barriers to entry. Terrible. But, fun hike so far. Seems like we've unlocked a new, never-before-seen bog color. Lots of red now. Very interesting. It's on both sides.
I don't want to step off. I know you're not supposed to, but I want to. I want to be a Turon.
He's gonna do it. Do it. Do it. Ah! Do it. I'll do it.
I got a thing for my phone. Advice no longer detected in the area.
Oh no, we're really out here now.
Yeah.
So we went to the next swimming hole. Look at that beam of light. How neat is that a little effect? There's a few others, but that one that goes straight up and down, so cool. Anyway, here's the swimming hole. Welcome to the top of this little overlook tower where we have found out some very interesting news. Turns out, there have been some bogs recently where bodies have been found from the long time ago period when people will like dig through the moss and they'll find a corpse, and that's interesting. We don't know where though. Maybe not here. Maybe here. We found another little tower thing, so we're gonna go do that quickly because weather. So at the top, more bogs. That one's got birds. Birds in the bog. And more bogginess. Sun finally poking out a little bit, etc., etc. Hey, give me a rating. Out of 10.
Better than the one before.
Yeah, the last one kind of sucks. Best one of the day for sure. Just on our drive and we found this old abandoned gas station, which we thought was interesting. Probably not from the Soviet era or anything, but interesting nonetheless. So not much else interesting, but we just got to our little hotel in Latvia, which means our first day of actual proper Latvian adventure, aside from doing the high point, will be tomorrow. Good morning and welcome to a brand new day. We are doing the Red Rocks Cliff Loop. Start our day very late because for some reason we can't sleep enough here. Good time. We got a spring here, and don't you worry, lots of mosquitoes. Here's some of the red cliffs. They're not quite, you know, towering like the cliffs of Zion.
I feel like maybe that's just
But close enough. They have all these art things out here. It's interesting. For our next stop, we're headed over to a castle, but our little walking route took us through this nice little park. Just in a bit of a wander, we found this cool little tower, so that's cool. These captionings I'm doing are terrible. We've arrived at the castle and we've been greeted by the guard. He's very friendly. He said, "Oh, excuse me, I'm a little dirty, I'll clean myself up for you." So we just got our tickets into a castle, and for the very first time in my entire life, she said, for the castle portion, you could take this. Castle. Hopefully it's not too dark, but in a worst case, we've got our lantern. we found the medieval toilet. The ceiling is super cool in here. Aside from the main castle, there used to be a 3-story building down in the moat, which used to be 27 feet deep, but never filled with water. And there's this tower that apparently has never been restored, although they surely have added some bracing to keep it the way that it is. So here you could see some of the defensive positions. So they would stand here with their little gun-like apparatuses, and they'd fire down on enemies below. Very interesting. Sounds like a boring job though, if there's no enemies, of course. Welcome to the special exhibit on mittens. Yes, that's a real thing that I just said. And yes, it's as silly as it sounds. Look at all the mittens. Mittens through time, they said. You're about to watch a 40-second clip about mittens, because the mittens never quit. And they have this little like alcove with benches in it through this park. It's also starting to rain, but we don't care about no stinking rain, right, Nick?
Russian.
The rain actually said, "Sounds like it's my time to shine." So we are at an old medieval village now. There's 3 different time periods of the village. There's the village and a fort or a castle, ruins, and then another more modern village. Apparently it's like in a swamp. So this was around 900s era, though I imagine none of these are original structures. I wonder how many saunas they had back then. That might be something.
This is a pretty cool village more than that, yeah?
I mean, I think being alive at this point in time would suck regardless of where you lived. So yeah, sure. So for our next stop, the Teutonic Knights inhabited this area, starting in the 1300s, ending in the 1600s. They built this castle here, which from the last castle, we're only like a 10-minute drive. So it's kind of crazy that they just had 2 of them. There used to be a drawbridge where we were walking, and this was a moat. And then I believe they excavated all this from underwater, which makes it even more interesting. And I was a little wrong, so we've got our 9th to 10th century, this, and then over there we have the Bronze Age stuff, / Stone Age stuff. So that'll be not really a whole lot left of the old castle, but still cool nonetheless. Found a cool windmill. We're now in the Stone / Bronze Age settlement. I think this is full just recreation, though they found evidence of a settlement previously having been here, which is pretty neat.
Historically accurate.
Historically accurate! Going into the windmill now, boys. So,
$80.
Nick's trying to count out coins, but we'll just ignore him. We've got a rock. It's 1862.
40.
And the mill part of the windmill, and how a windmill works. You got your windmill, you got your gear, spins another gear, spins the shaft. You dump your stuff in there, and it goes down, gets ground up, comes out. I think maybe I'll link you to an educational YouTube video, but here's some things like the raw form and then the ground forms. Nothing here is in English, so it makes it a little hard. Phase 2 of the dump it in to get grinded process. Bucket thing goes down in there. On the floor. Got like a little hopper thing there. That guy spinning some more. Not a hopper thing, sorry. That looks like a pre-grinding thing, like maybe human powered. Top. We got wooden gears. Stuff. I don't think in your wheat making process you'd ever actually come up this high. But did not expect the teeth to be made out of wood, but I don't know what else I would think they'd be made out of. A much better diagram of how a windmill works. It's a lot easier to see. It's like the same one that was inside, but more legible. Going to what we're calling Xerxes Rock, which is not what that is, but Zartes, whatever. Yeah, we had a stop planned for 3 o'clock, but it is 2:08, and we were gonna get there in 10 minutes, and I saw a sign for this, and I said, hey, that sounds like fun, let's go there. And here we go. You can probably actually see it from where we're at, but we'll save it till you look. There she is. There's the rock. It's a big rock. Well, anyway, that's about it. There's a little bridge that we're on. So we left our little walk there, and now we are at the Soviet secret bunkers, which was just 10 minutes down the road. The entrance here feels very Soviet, with our Soviet music going.
Come on in. Okay. Well, if there's no translator. There and outside the territory. Those are meant for the workers to live there. On your left, there's also our. Go in, check out the wall. I will explain about these cones and the flooring and the mats. Okay. These gray phones are for inner communication inside the bunker, with or without the help. Okay. There's a guy coming to me, like text in Russian. Save your breath, it's 1,000 people war, so don't waste. I'll explain about next game.
For our next stop, we have the Lignantes Nature Trail.
Pay for a ticket to the thing and then you drive through.
I don't. We can't figure out how to pay for it, and it says you have to pay to park in the parking lot, so we're trying to figure it out. We're doing a nature trail now, but we're not really sure what it is. It's like a little 1 mile walk, but it seems like it's a guarantee to see animals, so maybe it's like a zoo style thing. I don't know. You're gonna come along for the ride. This trail has provided exactly 1 mild jump scares thus far. Why are they doing that? Is this the animals? Is this what we're trying to see out here? I'm so confused. This one got Nick. Spooky. It's gonna run right out in front of us. Focus with his horns. So we have our first exhibit on our trail, apparently. It's the Eurasian red squirrel, and he seems like he's going absolutely bananas in there. Poor guy. Have fun, buddy. Here is a moose. Doing moose things. Next up is the owls. Very hard to get a video of because of the cage, but you know. Nick and I have both noticed that all these cages are very small, which is kind of weird considering, you know, you've got the entire wilderness around you to build bigger cages. But what do we know? Maybe we're getting a little bored of this. Oh yeah, they will. Big mean guys. So we finished our little walk around the zoo. We're back in the car now. Found some cool housing stuff. on the way to our next stop, which is an old castle. See you there. We arrived at the castle. There is a tower. Yep, another tower awaits us. And this is what it looks like from the top of the tower. Wow.
And when they're going, we were going somewhere. At least
We made it back to the car, and now we're gonna go get some dinner and check into our hotel. Fun stuff. We left our hotel to get some food. We got jalapeno bites, chicken nuggets, mac and cheese bites, french fries, and then I got more food. My food. 5-year-old, 10-year-old. We got pancakes, which are very strange looking. And Nick, being a little fatty baby, got 2 bowls of pancakes. How is it?
I didn't get any there. Just banana.
Well, how's the banana?
Car sticks are good. Let me try this another bite.
It's the next day. We just stopped at the gas station to get gas. And this guy landed on my leg while I was pumping gas. It's huge. Crazy. We are at the Riga Motor Museum. Very exciting times, full of Soviet stuff. So this is a 1931 BMW parked next to a 1929 Buick. But look at the size difference between these two. Absolutely dwarfed. It's like parking my Mini next to my Corvette. We got this cutaway that has the inside of the differential, the transmission, and it's an old flathead engine, so the valves brace more on it. They have a bunch of very cool old motorcycles too, which I know nothing about, but I do know aerials are really cool. Look at this way. So, it's my garage, except I did not know that Steyr made Fiat 500s. Mom, I want Formula One. We've got Formula One at home. The Formula One at home. It's the old Soviet era race cars that they used by kind of cobbling together some normal car parts back in the day. We're way more into the Soviet cars now. Moscovics, Azes, and Gazes. This is what you would drive in the 50s. They always have the coolest little conglomerats. This car is particularly interesting. It feels extraordinarily excessive, like even compared to a 50s American car. It is a huge thing. It's even got 3 rows of seating. Our next stop, and we just paid a lot of money for parking because it's raining, is the corner house, which is an old KGB command center. We were not able to get tickets for the tour. It's raining a bit harder now, but we're wandering to our next stop and saw this little church, so we decided to go in. And back for the church tour. We're going into an Orthodox church now on the way, but no videos. We're at the Museum of the Latvian Occupation. We paid money for parking, and now that it's becoming nice out and we found out there's a ton of stuff to do in this area, we realized that we wasted money on parking. We totally should have walked or taken a bus. We're in the hotel, and now we're going for a bit of a walk, but the weather's a little insane. We got the river and the boats. Yeah. Latvia! We visited the Riga Occupation Museum. It was really cool. I didn't really take many videos because it was a museum, but here's a church. Enjoy that. Head around that way. Apparently we're going to go around that way so we can take a look at the giant heads of lettuce. Apparently you're getting a whistle-stop tour of a bunch of different churches. I took videos in some of them, but not others, outside of some, not outside of others. So none of this will make sense or be coherent, but enjoy the videos. This church is 1 year shy, being 800 years old. Also is filled with bones, which was crazy. Nick's doing a Google, or maybe he's thinking about doing a Google.
I
Did not expect that.
Well, I'm saying, I feel like
This is the TV tower for Riga. It's currently closed, you can't visit, but we got the next best thing. A nice view of it. One little extra video of the skyline. We've decided that Riga is a bit generic, but still a nice place. So, look at this little guy here. How you doing, buddy? How you doing? How cute. Also, by the way, it's like a nice hotel. We haven't mentioned that, but it's like a fancy 4-star hotel.
More of like
So
English people.
we're driving to a hike. We're like 2 hours into our drive now, and we're hungry, so we're going to this little bistro because it's the only restaurant between us and where we're going. This was only $2. That's good. I don't know. We got what felt like an actual, real Lithuanian or Latvian breakfast, and only spent like $2. And probably the cheapest meal we've gotten. Definitely the best value. On our drive, I was talking to Nick, and I was like, man, it's a real shame we didn't climb 28 flights of stairs today. And then out of the corner of my eye, I see a little view tower, so we immediately pulled over just to get some stairs. And I think we're gonna do it like 3 or 4 times just for the stairs. There's a lot of stairs here. Actually, you're gonna see the whole thing live. Let's go.
do not lean against the rail.
Don't lean against the rail, it
Do not
says.
come up here if it's shaky.
Oh, look at that. Rainbow.
It's a rainbow. See it? Oh yeah.
Taste it.
Like Skittles.
So the view up here, I don't know.
It's not, yeah, not a great view.
It needs to be a little taller.
Hyundai, I finally made it to our hike. It's gonna be riveting, exciting. The trees are a bit different here, so that's cool. Update these hills on this nature trail are old, ancient sand dunes, which is pretty cool. They're super long, narrow hills that run far, and they're just made out of old-timey sand.
Well, one's guaranteed too, you know. I enjoyed it when I did.
We are almost back to the car now. It was a good, nice walk. Cool morning, all
No
that.
beach.
No beach, but we'll take Nick to the beach now so he can have fun. Now, we're going to the beach. Look, it got a lot smaller as time went on, but also something weird happened in 2016, I guess. Interesting. Today is the day of rainbows, apparently. We got upgraded to double rainbow. And there is a lighthouse out there. How neat. I'll have to include a screenshot of the map here, but this is the very tip of the Gulf of Riga. That's why this was such a strategic place. And we made it. We're here. On our way to the next stop, we've got some actual just abandoned block housing. We currently don't have cell service. There's your radio telescope. Look at that thing. The sun just came out. Just some more for your viewing pleasure.
Somebody definitely still lives there.
the lives there part was about this house. They look like they do tours here, but it looks like it's closed today, unfortunately. So we're gonna see if maybe they're open tomorrow or later today or what have you. Circle back at some point, maybe. It's the old military housing we've found out. Here's a fire tower. That was our next stop. That's pretty cool. Looks like we can go inside too. Here's some information. Those are some stairs.
Yeah.
Ocean out there. Guess what? Another rainbow. But fortunately, it looks thunderstormy, so we're not going to hang out here very long. Because I don't want to get struck by lightning. Inside they have these little bunker hatches. I think they were. These were either friendly or not so friendly ships, and these were the opposite. Right here. Holy crap. But this door was open and I shut it because it is super cool. Just. Oh, too far. Well, now we're open. Ooh. There we go. So Nick, we just went into Circle K. What did we just get?
Coke Zero Oreo. Now in America they have this, but not as Coke Zero, as regular Coke.
I didn't know we had this in America. Yeah. I'm a little less excited now.
But it's the regular Coke, not the Coke Zero, so it's just sugar free.
Tastes like Coke Zero with an Oreo in it.
I like it.
I don't like it. So next up on our tour, we saw a little roadside thing, so we just turned, and now apparently we're at the ocean and we're gonna go look at it. There she blows. Next stop, we are at a fortress on the ocean. Stand by for more videos. Oh yeah, there's a windmill here.
Go that way?
A big, fancy Orthodox Church of St. Nicholas. Stop, we're going to jail. We're touring an old Soviet-era prison, so, well, hopefully touring one. We didn't get tickets or anything in advance, and sometimes that seems to be a problem here. Just kidding, it's not Soviet-era. It actually was World War II. You can actually stay the night here, but they treat you like a prisoner and actually make you sleep on the concrete. It seemed fun until I read more into it, and then it actually seemed scary. We've made it to the astronomical clock thing. We have no idea how it works. It's very interesting looking. Oh, there's the wheel. Apparently you move this wheel and things happen. But this is what we got. We'll let you know when we figure it out, unless we don't. And then you won't hear about it ever again. It's a new day. It's Sunday, which is basically the last day of our trip. I mean, we're still going to be here for another couple days, but it's basically the last day of the trip. And we are going to the Spit. I can't remember the actual name for it. Here's a screenshot on Google Maps. And we're currently on the... Here's the ferry. Very interesting. Very interesting. See? Ha 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 ha. Walked through the woods and found this thing. It's not the National Geographic squares of yesteryear, but it's something. They have this fence because this is a nature reserve, which also coincidentally borders Russia. So maybe a little dual purpose in the fence. I don't know. But interesting walk. Here's what we're missing by not being able to go through the fence. Cool dunes. And then, you know, ocean. not even ocean. This is just the bit between Lithuania and Lithuania. It's Lithuania here. And as soon as you get about halfway across that sand dune, it becomes Russia. And then that whole little jut out over there, that's all Russia. We walked to a grocery store. Got a Coke, this, those, and here I got a pizza and empanada. Basically, this point forward crossed off everywhere. And they say it's for a nature preserve, but Nick and I kind of have the suspicion that it's probably actually because of the whole Ukraine thing. And for our next stop, we got missile silos out here. We got a hill with some concrete stuff sticking out of it. There's another missile silo over there. I guess, really, you could say it's the bomb. And now we're going underground.
I scanned it even though you could just do that. This door is supposed to be unlocked.
Excellent.
It looks like they made their generator out of concrete, which is the most Soviet thing I can possibly think of. Big generator, and for scale. So, welcome to the inside of a nuclear missile silo.
What about that one?
This is the authentic entrance to the silo, so you go up the little ladder and then just bombs. We just got to our Airbnb, and the sunset from our room is pretty good. I like it. Also, our room is a little wacky. These things move, which is cool, but let me get inside and show you around. So, we have just one big room that has everything in it. The world's smallest washing machine. And then, quite possibly my favorite feature of any place we stayed in on this trip, the combination shower, shitter. It's like we're in an RV, but even better. And the world's smallest mirror. So I just went to this restaurant, and the video quality is horrible, but like whatever. And it is arguably the best cake I've ever had in my entire life. And the pasta was pretty good too. Good morning, everybody. It's our last day in Vilnius, and we have nothing to do. Everything we wanted to do is closed on Mondays. So what we've decided is, so far our biggest walking day was 18.5 miles. Our goal for today is to hit 20 miles.
Turn left.
Can we do it? We have to be back to our Airbnb by 5. I didn't put my watch on this morning, so I don't know what time it is. Let's go.
It's definitely hot, cool.
So Google Maps, because we decided to go to the TV tower, has brought us to the forest, which is interesting. Didn't expect this.
Nope.
We have made it to the TV tower. We stopped to get lunch, but Mr. Picky Eater didn't get anything. We watched this guy curve his wheel. So, it's our very last day, sort of. I mean, we didn't even have a day. You missed the McDonald's trip, but that's okay. We have a total summary of this many units. I'll put American units right next to it, don't worry, of driving that we've done. And Nick, what would you say? Do we have a good trip?
Yes.
Our laptops didn't get stolen yet.
Correct.
We didn't have any actual major car issues, unlike normal. We'll see if I get a speeding ticket or something. And now we're going to go embrace our 40-minute Helsinki layover and probably miss our next flight. So we have carry-ons on this flight. They don't fit. And I'm going to charge Nick for his standard size carry-on, even though it's a standard size.